same error S&M model. So we'll be asking of the 4 questions. So you're going to pick a side. We'll do the left side. So tell me if you have any pain right now in your left elbow area. Any recently? Ever?
No.
Any accidents or injuries ever to that elbow? Never ever. Okay. And what about any other signs or symptoms today? Your neck or your arm? Okay. So 4 questions. Just give me a ballpark idea of what's going on. Then next is inspection. So that's the eye. So what's the mnemonic? Dazed it, right? So I'm going to look at all of the areas, and I'm going to think about the anatomical structures. So I have you put your palms up. So I'm looking at the anterior surface. If I start on the medial side, I'm looking at the medial epicondyle. I'm thinking about the articulation here. I'm looking for signs of discoloration, abrasion, scars, edema, or deformity. Following on down, I'm looking at the forearm muscles that actually control the wrist and the hand. And on the medial side, do you know what action they primarily do? Are they on the medial side of the elbow? Are they flexion?
Adductors.
Okay, maybe a little adductor. What about flexion or extension?
Flexion.
Flexors.
Flexion.
The flexor pronators, yeah. Following across the front, here's the joint line crease, the antecubital fossa area. Continuing my gaze over here to the lateral side, I'm going to start looking now at the lateral joint line area. So I've got the radiohumeral joint. Continuing on to the posterior aspect, you can see this depression, and everyone has a bit of a depression. That's exactly where the joint is for the radiohumeral joint. Continuing on to the back surface, I'm going to just step here, pull her arm into extension. You can see this. What's that called?
Olecranon.
That is the olecranon. The process is actually a bony structure that goes into the fossa, so I can actually palpate that here. And this would be your fossa. Looking at the top of the olecranon area, there's actually a bursa there. So that would be my discoloration, abrasion, scars, edema, deformity. Now I'm going to have you stand and look straight ahead. Just let your arms relax. So I'm looking now at the position of her hand and the general position of her elbow for distortions. So if you notice her hands are facing their side, that's the gunslinger position. All right, so she's ready to draw. Then I'm going to have her turn her palms out, and I'm going to look at this angle that the forearm makes with her arm. That's called the carrying angle. So I'm imagining a vertical line, a plumb line, coming right through the middle of the joint, and I'm asking myself, well, how is that angle? It should be fairly symmetrical. In females, it's a little bit broader than males, say 15 to 20 degrees. Males tend to be 10 to 15, maybe a little bit less. And looks pretty good. Fractures, surgeries would often change this carrying angle. Okay? So there's my inspection. Go ahead and have a seat. My range of motion. There's 4 directions. So we're going to have her actively do them. We're going to look at the amounts. We're going to build a mental goniometer. Then we're going to add a little bit of passive motion. So all I'd like you to do is stick your palms up and then flex your elbow as far as you can. Does that bother? I want to add a little bit more. Actually, I should be doing the other side since I was actually examining the other side, but we'll continue here. Your elbow into extension. Anything there? And here. Now, if you notice, with her extension, just hold your elbow up. You can see she goes past the 0 point. So for flexion, let's just go back and look at our measurements here. How much did she actually flex, would you say? And how would you know? Well, a true, straight vertical line would be the 0 position. So she went from 0 to, here's 90, to, what would you say?
70.
Well,
Less.
180 would be straight up and down again, right? That's a 180-degree arc. She didn't really go that far.
160.
Yeah, I'd say 160, 165, which is your normal range. Going back into extension, here's your 0 point, but she can go past that. In fact, she can go well past that. So she can go almost, I would say, what, 15 degrees at least into extension, maybe 20. Okay. Then I'm going to have her stick your thumb up to the ceiling. Okay, so this is called the semi-pronated position. We're going to have you turn your hand over. So I'm going to isolate this joint, right? This joint region. This is radiohumeral joint motion. How far did she go? Went 90. Come back the other way. Keep going the other way. How far did she go? Another 90. So 90, 90. So it's this. Should be painless. Add a little bit of overpressure at the end. Anything there? Go the other way. There at all? So, we did our active and then our passive range of motion. We looked at the amounts. We asked if there was any pain or discomfort. Okay.
Talk with supination, pronation. Does it matter if the elbow is adducted or abducted?
Basically, the arm's meant to be by the side, so keep it resting by the side and just work from there. If you notice that they start to bring the arm away, it could be that they're trying to accentuate and try to fake you out. Patients always like to show you how well they can do stuff. So, oh look, I can go 180 degrees into pronation. Yeah, all right. Well, maybe you can if I put your elbow there. See? Okay. Anything else? All right. Well, let's try this.